So I was sitting on my stoop at 52 O Street, the O Street Artist Studios, and this young girl runs out from Hanover Alley, and a couple seconds later, 3 boys were chasing her down the alley, and they came up to her and they hit her in the face, they assaulted her. To put a 32-foot tall portrait of an empowered woman on the street is super radical. You just don't see it very often.
She's a little vintage. She's a little vintage these days, but she's still pretty strong.
I wanted to take my message out of the studio and put it on the street because I wanted to have that conversation with the kids in the neighborhood. It also made a few people uncomfortable. They're not used to seeing empowered images of women on the street. And I think that's what made the work so powerful. There was actually a neighborhood meeting about 4 months after the mural was installed, and someone had actually asked the police to investigate that particular intersection and corner to see if crime had increased. DC Metropolitan Police Department actually came back and reported that crime had actually decreased by 55% in the 4 months since Boxer Girl had been installed. After that finding, people kind of began to really see the power of public art. Without the community support, it would be much harder to continue to do the work that I do. So that's why I also really think about the work site specifically. I want to really know the community and know who I'm painting this work for and kind of involve them in my process in some way, because the work's really for them. When local governments support their artists, the artists stick around and they make their city special. And I think it's important for all cities and all governances to really support the artists in their communities. I was born in Florissant, Missouri. My family owned a truck stop. I worked as a waitress there. While there were so many things that I loved working at my family's truck stop, I also experienced a significant level of harassment. I would get hit on quite often, and those experiences really stuck with me. And so, one of my first series, I call it my Lot Lizard series, because it takes different body parts and from different men's interest fashion magazines, and then I collage them together to create these kind of lizard figures, and they sit on the hoods of these semi-trucks, sort of enthroned. And then the borders are all appropriated from the Book of Kells or different gospel manuscripts. The point of that is in the same way that the monks gave importance to these texts and these gospel stories, I'm kind of wanting to give importance to this role of women, even if it was the role of being a sex worker in a American highway transit system. I had kind of met different sex workers at the truck stop that inspired the series, but it was also really my own experience too, of kind of feeling cut up, harassed or kind of degraded to just being a physical body. The series that I am starting currently is really inspired by the current Me Too movement, and is going to be a series of women with microphones and women speaking into microphones, and kind of how the microphone can almost become a symbol of empowerment, or almost a weapon of its own for us to find our own voice. This is kind of the first of this new series. So this is Lady Gaga speaking at Elle magazine, coming out about her, sexual assault when she was 19 years old. And to be able to speak our truth is a way that we can, begin to fight and back against these sort of patriarchal values that have really held women down for so many generations. It's so important to me to be so close to downtown DC. You turn the corner and you see the United States Capitol building, And for me, that's very inspiring, and it's very important to be in downtown Washington because there's so much that happens in this town that changes the country, but also changes the world. So as an artist, if I can speak to those change makers and those policy makers and remind them to love a little bit more, then they're gonna go and do their job and hopefully take that message and spread that out.